you may or may not know, but the link between, or the agreement link between you and your physical body happens often before birth.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it happened after birth. We didn't have access to that in-between life space that humans go into or bodies go into.
Mm.
So ours happened after conception, not birth. After conception, once they were in the physical universe, the soul and the body, we were able to have conversations with them, right? And when we had agreements, and with this one, the agreement came in probably, like linear time is just really, I'm just seeing the level of development and remembering my biology class that shows the fetus and how it grows in development.
What it looks like.
So probably 12 weeks around there.
That's
right?
quite early.
Yeah. So around then, both the soul and the body said yes, agreed. And the soul was still there, by the way. The original soul. And then we brought in, through these other beings, and people have probably heard about experiencers and stuff like that now. Like people being taken into what they think are spaceships and,
right,
things done to their body or whatever. So our mother that was done to her.
Okay.
With her agreement, subconscious, right? It wasn't the first time. They had actually taken quite a few fetuses from her already. By her agreement and happiness. Anyways, this is very similar. It wasn't the same species that she had worked with in the past, but and within that, let's say lab, we could call it a lab or a prenatal clinic.
Pre-birth prenatal?
Pre-birth prenatal clinic kind of thing, Anyways, this genetic material is just data, information, data that a body can use and a soul can use for making choices of what they look like or what their experiences are, a physical expressioner.
Okay.
Okay. So data. So this other species put some of their data of subtleness, the physical subtleness of their experience of their nature, into the fetus that was in my mom.
Okay.
And that made the fetus more subtle. This caused a couple of things. It meant that it was harder to kill, because when you put something solid into something more subtle, it's harder to kill it.
Because it doesn't interact at a physical level the same way another physical.
Yes.
It's like stabbing jello instead of stabbing
yes.
a steak.
Yes. Yeah, very good. So that had a side effect also, but also it meant that we could connect with, and at the time also with that soul. The other soul was just like, what else, right? And the body, and it wouldn't burn it up.
Got it.
Even though it wasn't exactly comfortable. Okay. So that's the part of, what they did and whatnot. Okay, so our first experience of being singularly incarnated was at birth. So the connection was there, and we have seen and perceived and had pregnancies also, that the soul and the body are united in one unit from conception, but the soul often goes on trips, goes off and might not have died in their previous life yet, so they have to hang out on that body with that body, So it's not like a solid connection yet, but once the body takes its first breath, the connection is solid. So existence for both the physical body and the soul in this incarnation starts at conception. But the autonomy, let's call it autonomy rather than incarnation, starts at first breath.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
And if for any reason that baby cannot take a first breath at that physical body, then the connection cannot happen and the baby dies. Okay? Right. Our first experience of singularity was at birth. So it was literally when that autonomy happened, that's when we literally became one with the body. And it was different. I mean, our physical body tried to tell us what to do and we ignored her. So we entered the body and didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, now what?
Now what?
How do I make it breathe, eat, like move our hands, speak? All the things we see no humans do, right? The body tried to show us. And basically what our body was trying to show us was to say, this is a process we learn together. Because not two people are the same, not two people function the same, not two bodies and souls function the same and learn the same. It's not a uniformity thing. It's not a, here's the program and you just turn it on and it happens, right? It's actually something that you learn together. You create the program together.